We muted.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have been arrived. You have arrived rather at a place that is known as the Ball Hog Sports Talk. This place is an experience where we find the opportunity to combine the big decisions, the managerial decisions of big finance, with the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment and pop culture stance. From that view, it'd be something like where show me the money meets just give me the damn ball. This is going to be an amazing show. Today's episode is going by the title. We always like to put a lot into our titles. Today is nothing different. So today's title of this show is one that is more than double entendre, maybe triple, quadruple entendre. Cold
Hard to
as
do that
ice.
with 3 words.
Cold as ice. Gonna be a great show. Lock in, get ready for the big decisions of finance. All those managerial decisions to meet the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment. With no further ado, let's go. From the Middle Coast, Mr. Chicago himself, we have
Yep.
the man, the myth, the legend. Thou shall be intergalactically known and respected as. When you say it with some reverence, say it with some bass in your voice, say it with your chest poked out, or else. His name, as far as you know and shall say, is the Big Flow Show. What's up, Big Flow?
I don't know. The way you just said Big Flow lacked the bass. I'm just being honest with you. If I'm being honest, there's a little more treble in there than normal. I don't know if it's a slow start today or whatever, but the tie's tight or whatever. I know you got your sexy on. But I appreciate a little more bass in your voice next time you said my name. But we're gonna let it go this week because I see you're not really in the mood to hear all my jokes and banter. But now, what's good, man? It's winter time, man. Groundhog saw his shadow, and every year I forget what that means, but that means more winter. 6 more weeks of winter is about right in Chicago. So I guess even if he didn't see a shadow, I'd still feel the same way. But at this point, man, you know what? We just gotta embrace it, dude. 6 weeks ain't nothing. I could do the 6 weeks in my sleep.
That is one of the reasons why today's title is Cold as Ice. Not only in Chicago, but throughout these United States of America, places that are traditionally not experiencing inclement weather, at least not to this degree, have all had to face this cold, blistery, and in a lot of places, icy weather. That's one of the reasons why we went with the title Cold as Ice. New Jersey was about 12 inches or so of snow, and we've cleared most of it. Some townships and cities were better than others. I'm not going to get into that. But it has been cold as ice. And Puxtatani Phil, I think this is how you say it, Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm.
Puxtatani Phil, if I'm messing it up, sorry, Groundhog, says because he saw his shadow that it's going to be an elongated winter, and it feels that way. So that's one of the reasons that we went with Cold as Ice. On this show, we try to stay apolitical. We decided deliberately not to address some of the conversations when it comes to ICE and the immigration connotation of ICE, especially when it was on the heels of some tragic deaths. We try to stay apolitical, but I don't think we can now because this is also the week. Not only do we have Groundhog Day, not only do we have the beginning of Black History Month. Shout out to everyone who celebrates. We all should in this country, but Black History Month is officially in full effect. This is our first show in Black History Month as two Black podcasters raising Black kids. We celebrate Black History Month. So hopefully those of you who continue to be our supporters, which we thoroughly enjoy, hopefully you're celebrating it too. But in addition to all the excitement, this week we had the Grammys. And the Album of the Year award winner, Bad Bunny, also happens to be the headliner for this year's Super Bowl 60 halftime show. So Bad Bunny and winning the Album of the Year started with a very, very charged message. He talked about ice out. Another reason today's show is going by the title of Cold as Ice is because that ice had nothing to do with wintry weather. It had everything to do with wintry behavior. That term, cold as ice, obviously has temperature related connotations, extreme physical temperature. You're right, in terms of how freezing, blistering cold it has been. Everybody got to, leave the faucet dripping, and we got to make all of these adjustments for the weather. But then there's another cold as ice, right? The slang version of it is like extremely cold, emotionally detached, indifferent, unfeeling, if you will. And Bad Bunny, in his Grammy Award acceptance speech, talked about the extremely emotionally detached, indifferent, emotional frost that seems to be the vibe when we're talking about families being broken up and in the most tragic situations, lives that have been taken. While we have tried to remain apolitical as a show, we can't avoid the fact that Bad Bunny, the headliner for this Super Bowl, took the stage at the Grammys and showed that he is willing to get in the mud when it comes to politics. It was a very emotional speech. It was well received by most. But when Roger Goodell was asked, it sort of, is this a foreshadowing of what we can expect in Bad Bunny's halftime show? Roger Goodell took a very, very interesting approach to his response and basically said, Bad Bunny and his team understand this setting. This setting is to bring people together. And so it seems as though he's probably put some parameters on what can and cannot be said when it comes to Bad Bunny's opinion. Let's call it what it is. It's an opinion, which everyone is entitled to, on the ICE agency. It is interesting in the same week that Roger Goodell is contemplating an 18th game. Talk about cold as ice. Same NFL that faced lawsuits because of CTE and all the dangers. The same NFL that has done anything and everything to go out of its way to change its rules to say that it's protecting its players is talking about adding an 18th game.
Can you say load management?
Load management. Do you think Bad Bunny is going to heed the warning of Roger Goodell? Some of his songs are in Spanish. I don't know.
Do I think he will or do I think he should?
Both. Before we get to the Super Bowl, we're going to start there and then we're going to move into some different things. But I think the Grammys gave us sort of a really interesting look into where Bad Bunny is seeing his position in these conversations when it comes to ICE and its impact on families. He went in depth and he was very, I think, vulnerable in that moment. The fact that he has songs that aren't in English have already led to some conversations. But if you add that, him trying to take on ICE and his political feelings about what ICE is doing in this country, I think it's the next step when it comes to, we talked about Black Lives Matter and whether or not Colin Kaepernick, I just remixed his name. My bad, sir. Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, just really remixed the brother's name. But there's a whole discussion about whether or not political speak and political opinions had a place. LeBron's new launch of his shoe, one iteration of it just says, I guess it's taking on the whole shut up and dribble. Also with the MLK salute. What do we think is going to happen? Should he take this on and ignore Roger Goodell? And then, yeah, answer, do you think if he will or not?
So first, I need to start off by saying, I just got to remind people because so many people are offended by his presence and saying it's anti-American. The irony is that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, right? So he is American. The irony is there's been so many performers before him that weren't American, but nobody cared, right? Never was an issue.
Un-American.
Un-American, right?
Just weren't born on American soil. Let's call it that. Un-American is a whole different thing.
Did I
It
say
might have
un-American?
been.
I said they weren't American.
Oh, I thought you said we're
I was
un-American.
like, sometimes you got to replay it in your head because I do mess those words up. No, there were so many that weren't American, so many, but they're English speaking people, but they were not U.S. citizens that have performed. No one had a problem. But then here you have someone who is un-American, lives in American territory, or is from American territory that happens to speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, Spanish has to be considered a U.S. language if you really think of it, because it's, maybe not the majority language, but it is, right? They haven't forced it to be something different. So that's one thing to put out there. So when it comes down to should he do something, part of me says I want to say no, he shouldn't, right? Part of me says no, he shouldn't. And the only reason why I say no, you don't get paid to do these Super Bowl, right? That's just an honor.
Recent Super Bowls is been, it's basically you front the cost and then there's just this it's delayed gratification. Do you get paid from the NFL and whatever entity Jay-Z is running? I don't know what he's using to produce these NFL shows. But no,
I believe you don't get paid.
Short answer.
So that kind of puts it on it puts me on the fence. You know what I mean? Because if you're getting paid, I would say probably not. Just because, you're not it's not like the NFL where you've earned the right to be there through your play and this is your platform. Mm-hmm. It's like they invited you to come do it and you've accepted it. So I'm curious to whether or not he signs anything, if they make you do anything that way. But money aside, will he do something? I would not be surprised. I don't know a lot about Bad Bunny.
There is history of these halftime shows having at least some a hint of political.
I mean, we had Tittygate when they pulled the breasts out. That was intentional.
Yeah, that's different. Politics, not.
I'm just saying, people do things, they shock value. And Bad Bunny, I hadn't known this before, but he's been known to dress in drag. And I don't know if it's a parody or that's just his thing. If he does it to be like Borat, kind of like a funny person. I don't know a lot about him. So I doubt that I'm going to say yes, he's going to do something. I think when he's in, there will be at least something symbolic at a minimum. You think about like last year we had, Drake threatening to sue Kendrick
Lamar, who came up short for album of the year. Bad Bunny took album of the year. I'm sure Drake was happy about that, but
yeah, but I think that he's, I think, he had so much symbolism and so much stuff against America in there, supposedly, you know what I'm saying? He had the Samuel Jackson, the whole slave thing. So why would Bad Bunny do anything different? So yes, I think he's going to do something. Okay. Should he or shouldn't he? I believe it'd be nice to be more subtle, kind of like the way that, I didn't appreciate Kendrick Lamar's halftime show for like weeks until I saw people broke it down. And then I think it was one of the most,
the symbolism. Right.
The symbolism was amazing. I missed most of it. Not all of it, but I missed all of it. So my question is, I think Bad Bunny would show skills to do it in that kind of a light symbolism, as opposed to just saying, fuck ICE, something like that. That would be kind of.
Yeah, Beyonce has symbolism. There's a lot of people that have symbolism in there.
I think symbolism would be the right way to do it. Yeah. Not that he should do what I want him to do.
We shall see. I just thought it was interesting that Roger Goodell was so profound in saying, look, Bad Bunny is well aware of the platform and our goal to bring people together. But the most profound protests or the most profound messages are normally offered when you have the biggest platform. And it doesn't get any bigger than the Super Bowl. This is the platform of all platforms. If he engaged in said speech for his acceptance speech for the Grammys, which indeed is a big platform, multiply that exponentially for the stage that he's going to have in Super Bowl 60. So we shall see. Let's hop into a few things because it's the coldest ice episode. Whether it's cold, blistering cold, bring out your minks and your fur. Whether it's cold, being emotionally detached, just pay close attention. Back in our day, at the risk of sounding old, when y'all say swag, we used to say, yo, that boy's cold. That's how we used to say it down in South Florida. So we got that meaning too. There's a lot of cold figures in sports and entertainment this week. There's a lot of cold realities when it comes to the managerial decisions of big finance in sports and entertainment this week. And one of the coldest decisions that I've seen, and I'm talking about blistering cold, because some people got snubbed, not the Grammys, when it comes to this NBA All-Star team. And on the other side of that, LeBron James, man, he's a cold human being. He stretches his already record-breaking 21 straight NBA All-Stars. He stretches it to 22. He is voted in by the coaches. And in doing so, some people got snubbed. It's a cold world out there. While LeBron James is a cold man, undeniable. There's some people that if you look at the stats, those things that I think you use for all-star games, there's some people that got snubbed. Do we think it was right for LeBron James to get voted in by the coaches? And I would argue it is more of a lifetime achievement, although he's been playing phenomenal this year. LeBron James in the Western Conference. In the Western Conference, LeBron James is nowhere to be seen in the top 10 in terms of scoring. And yet, he made this All-Star team. 17th leading scorer in the West. At, I think it's 21.1, 26th when you look at the whole league. Kawhi Leonard, on the other hand, who I would put at the top of the list of people who got snubbed, who also should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, who's played more games than LeBron. He's played 37 when LeBron's played, I think, 33. He's the 5th leading scorer in the Western Conference. He's the 7th leading scorer in the NBA, and he will not wear an NBA All-Star jersey this year. Is it much ado about nothing? We stayed apolitical when it came to ICE and its immigration and its impact on people and the tragic deaths. We tried to, while acknowledging the tragedy of the death, we tried to remain apolitical. It doesn't seem like the coaches remained apolitical when it came to this decision. What say you? I know you're a LeBron fan, but it is what it is. There are a lot of people that LeBron leaped over in order to be one of the 7 reserves picked by the coaches. What say you?
You know, I hate when people ruin something because, you know, you used to say ain't no party like a Diddy party, but you can't say that no more. In an All-Star game, like a LeBron All-Star game. What's up, Shufu? But of course he should make it. Absolutely, he should make it. And it doesn't matter who the collateral damage is. I think you should be arguing about, you know, we argued about Notre Dame, Miami, but the real argument should have been Alabama. Yeah. Like we having the wrong argument. Kawhi, somebody else got in that should have got in. Kawhi should have got in, but LeBron should have been the one out. I see that. I had to go look it up because, you know, I know everybody out here jocking. You know, Michael Jordan, he made the All-Star game and he's 25th in the NBA in scoring when he played with the Wizards. Had no business in the All-Star game, and he made the All-Star game.
Same thing with Kobe at the end.
Huh?
Same thing with Kobe at the end.
Yeah. But, so at some point, this is the entertainment world. This is the NBA. as long as LeBron is in the NBA, he's an all-star. As far as I'm concerned. I don't care if he scored 15 points. The fact that he didn't start was legitimizing everything about the voting. The fact that they didn't name him a starter, and now he's coming in there as off the bench, and that's as far as we can go. It's his NBA until he's done.
So does anybody else even like? Why don't they just do this then? If that's the case, if you're saying LeBron has earned it because of his Lifetime Achievement Award, like that's a separate category. We just watch the Grammys. Like that's not a Lifetime Achievement Award. This year's NBA All-Star team should be based on this year's best performers in the NBA. And while LeBron has done things that no one else has been able to do at 41 years old, truth be told is he's not one of the best performers in this year's NBA. So give him a separate category or just add another spot.
He's resting.
Add another spot that is a LeBron spot. Because if I'm Kawhi Leonard, and we're going to get to the Hall of Fame discussions, these same decisions, right? When we're deciding who makes the Hall of Fame, who's first ballot, we start using things like, oh man, he had X number of All-Star appearances. He was first team NBA, all NBA. We start using these same data points to make the arguments. And so while you're right, Kawhi Leonard probably got his feet up with lemonade. He's chilling. He's played 37 games this year, which for him is a high
they
percentage
probably didn't
of games.
want him to get hurt.
Maybe. So right this second, it might not seem like a big deal. But time has a way of showing when it comes to legacy, when it comes to other decisions like Hall of Fame. And let's be clear, most of these players have some sort of incentive-based financial.
You picked the wrong man. Kawhi getting $25 million on the side.
So not Kawhi, but some of the players do.
You picked the wrong example for that one.
But some of these players do. You're saying that any year that LeBron is in the NBA is a year that he should be on the NBA All-Star team.
Yes.
And I'm saying that they need to add an additional roster spot for him.
Same rules.
Because it's meritocracy.
It is.
It should be. It should be based on merit. And if
objection, relevance.
Relevance, well,
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're trying to get at. He's going
to
be
all-star.
What I'm trying to
get at is
okay.
The coaches are using.
Welcome to America. When I was in college, right, we have stories of people leaving police officers with their wallet and jumping through glass windows to make sure they weren't late for a Coach Holtz meeting because the punishment was severe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one day, Bryant Young, future NFL Hall of Famer, comes late to a meeting, shows up, sits down in the desk, and Coach Holtz said, "Hey, B, how you doing?" And keeps the meeting going. You know what? I learned that day. Some people can be late. So some people can be 25th in scoring and still be an all-star game. That doesn't apply to everybody. He's earned that right. 21 times he earned that right. He can be late. Now, maybe he shouldn't be late next year. Maybe next year if he's still around, maybe he needs to score. But he can be late. And haters, Shufu can come on right now and talk about he started this no defense also. Whatever you want to do. Oh, yeah, whatever. He can be late. He cannot play all that stuff. He's going to be an all-star game.
Let's stop calling it an all-star game. Let's call it a popularity game.
Well, it is. It's been a popularity game from the start. Are you kidding me? It's been a popularity game. It's all about voting, and people get voted in the all-star votes. When do they open the voting up for the all-star? Week 1? Like, you know what I mean? They open the voting for the all-star game up and the season hasn't even warmed up yet, and people putting in votes.
I see some of those who are weighing in. I see some of those who are weighing in, and I just want to take the opportunity to say for all of those who are a part of the live audience, thank you for joining us. And we ask you, like we ask you every week, kindly, please like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anyone that you know, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the podcast on Spotify. I think that's Jay Crit who's saying the NBA needs LeBron in that game. Ratings are down, the All-Star ratings are worse. Nobody is watching anyway.
Look at the Pro Bowl.
They turned into a flag game. I mean, that's the ultimate concession. And they made it a Super Bowl week. Nobody watched it. It was on a Wednesday. Was it Tuesday? I didn't know the day. Tuesday. Even worse.
Hey, that's usually the day off for the NFL. That's the national day off for the NFL. Tuesday. That's when they put it on.
It's the one day with no hashtag. You do not have a hashtag for Tuesday. Everything else has a hashtag except for Tuesday.
We talking about the king. We talking about the king not being in an All-Star game.
The king? We had
the Pro Bowl game on a Tuesday. Flag football. Flag.
I agree with everyone that's weighing
in.
What up, my man Lionel Phillips in the building? What's up, bro? I agree with everyone. And Lionel Phillips from the live audience says that happens in all sports. People want to see legends in All-Star games, even when they are ancient. But Kawhi Leonard.
Magic Johnson made the All-Star game, didn't play the whole season, had AIDS. Nobody want to D him up. They put him in the game.
But we're not talking about LeBron versus a rookie. Kawhi Leonard is to a legend.
Stop comparing. LeBron didn't take Kawhi's spot. Stop. You like one of these people, man.
Kawhi is the first out.
Someone else took Kawhi's spot. That's who we talking about. You said he was 7th in scoring.
LeBron was the last one announced. NBA on NBC, they made a big deal. LeBron was the last one out, and Kawhi was, in my humble opinion, just like we do in the March Madness.
They always keep first in, first out. Make you keep watching the show.
Kawhi's got to be first out. He's number 7 in all scoring in the whole
back
NBA.
To Alabama. See, you want them people getting to you, just like Alabama. They said Miami was the last one in, but Alabama was the one that should have been out, right?
Fair.
So what I'm telling you is who made it right before? Who did they announce right before LeBron?
I think the youngster from the Trailblazers.
See? What did you just say? The youngster he took Kawhi's spot. The fact that you just said that shit, that's Kawhi's spot we talking about. We got the wrong argument. This is America. They throwing you off. No look passes everywhere you go. The fact that you just said the youngster from whatever, that's Kawhi's spot.
The Trailblazers, the kid from Trailblazers.
That's who Kawhi's supposed to be.
Got a difficult name. I can't say. Look, man.
LeBron.
Shout out to LeBron. 22 years in a row. He's still doing his thing. And it's not laughable that he made it in because his numbers are still staggering. And even more staggering when you consider he's 41 years old. My only issue is, because we're going to get to the Hall of Fame soon, is that we use these same metrics, these same data points to talk about why someone should or should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And so in real time, it doesn't seem like a big deal because Kawhi Leonard probably is not bothered by this whatsoever. It's hard to see him triggered by anything. But then as time goes on and we understand the time value of money in the sense that the legacies, they impact decisions. They do. And that's where I'm looking at it like, you know what? This is the year that Kawhi answered all detractors. He's played in 37 games. He's the 5th leading scorer in the Western Conference, the 7th leading scorer in the whole NBA. He is shouldering the burden of an entire team, and even more now that James Harden is leaving. We'll get into that. And, they're surging since Christmas. It's one of the best teams in the NBA. If you look at what the coaches say they are using to make these decisions, check each one of those boxes in favor of Kawhi versus, and I know you say you don't want to put him versus LeBron, versus anyone else who was picked as a reserve. And yet he's not in. So it is what it is, man. Shout out LeBron. He's in it. Kawhi is not. And, we'll see. I do think it's going to have implications down the road because that's what we use. When we get to the ultimate debate stage in the barbershop, we point to these data points. And Kawhi, I think, got robbed.
Yeah, too bad that youngster from Portland took his spot.
Yeah.
Too bad.
I ain't mad at you, man. You all in LeBron, I'm all in on Mike. That's just how it's gonna be, man. I ain't mad.
That's the best part about it is I'm all in on Mike too. That's the problem. You're not gonna do the King like that.
King.
We're not doing the King like that.
We're doing the King like that, especially not in Black History Month. The King, man.
I know. Think about what you just said. Black History Month, and we try to keep the King out of the All-Star. What are you talking about?
All the Kings.
Turn your badge in at the door on the way out.
NFL Honors Awards, man. Let me point out some highlights before we get moving. Offensive Player of the Year went to Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm not going to mess up that man's name like Drewski did. He used the N-word. I was like, I thought he went too far. I like Drewski, but JSN won it, and I think very well deserved it. Coach of the Year went to Mike Vrabel. Defensive Player of the Year went to Myles Garrett. And I am a Cleveland Browns fan. So what NFL Honor Award brings up for me
Who
is
are the Cleveland Browns? What?
the dog pound. Who?
Oh, those dudes. The
With
Doodle
us
Brown.
dog pound
Doodle
people,
Brown. Doodle
it's
Brown.
painful,
I
right?
want to rock. I
Of
want to rock.
course, Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He broke the single season sack record with 23. But then to see, we also have in Carson Swessinger, we have the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
That's because everybody was trying to block Myles Garrett.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But man, that's painful to have 2 awards in the NFL honors and only have 4 wins to count for.
That's what I say. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and what? Right? But they 2 years ago they had one of the top ranked defenses in the NFL. Where are they now? They gave up everybody. So they quit. They gave
still
up.
good on defense. Problem is they're on the field the whole game. Yeah. But in Shakur we trust, baby. Shakur played in that doggone Pro Bowl that you talking about.
Yeah, we talking about
perfect
the king.
timing. Perfect timing,
baby.
We
talking about the king.
I did want to save this award for last because on the heels of the Kang making it to the All-Star game at 41 years old, Matt Stafford won the NFL MVP. And in doing so, became the oldest first-time MVP winner at 37 years old. Make all us young, old men, young first, but truth be told, when we wake up, we hear snap, crackle, and pop, we are indeed old. Shout out to Matt Stafford for representing for all the old folk, man. Great season by Matt Stafford. I thought he was going to win it, but towards the end, wondered if maybe someone's going to sneak in and steal the award from him. But, shout out to Matt Stafford, man. NFL MVP, 37 years old. Shout out to him, man. Anything else for the honors before we move forward? Anything you want to get out of it? Oh, I did want to put comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey, who did have a phenomenal year after injury last year. I think he only played 3 games last year. So he got the comeback player of the year. Moving on to Hall of Fame. Anything you want to do with the honors awards before I moved on?
I switched the screen. I like the fact that the Bears got the lineman of the year. They call it protector of the year. I don't know why. We work too hard in this country on titles, but I don't know why they couldn't just say lineman of the year. But protector of the year was a guard from the Bears, and I got it off the screen.
I like that you gave it up to the big dudes, man. My bad. I kind of just glossed over the trenches. I'm tripping.
Big sexes. You see what I'm saying? Somebody got it blocked.
I mean, at this point, you might as well give us assistant coach of the year if you're giving us lineman. You know,
holding the holder for the guy the best hold on kicks, field goals, whatever. They gotta have one of them guys too.
My man Mark says Kawhi will likely take SGA's spot. Talking about the All-Star game, and there will be probably some reserves.
Oh yeah, I forgot how they do that.
Towards the end when someone doesn't come.
If I'm Kawhi, I don't take that spot.
Man, Kawhi better take that spot. Kawhi he's much closer to the end than the beginning too. Better take that spot.
Nah, you take that spot?
Absolutely.
Why?
For this very reason. We're going to talk about.
So if you take the spot, are you retroactively named an All-Star, or is there an asterisk on your name?
No, there's no asterisk.
Huh?
No,
I don't.
There's no asterisk. I mean, that's the same thing that just happened with Shakur. Shakur was an injury replacement.
Kawhi probably doesn't care about his legacy. You know what I'm saying? I don't take the spot. He's supposed to be, if he cares.
Most people don't care about their legacy until they realize that they're very close to that being the thing that they're holding on to. Kawhi is close to being done. Much closer to being done than he was when he was the Claw, young San Antonio, MVP type play. Like that's not who he is now. Mm-hmm. So I think he probably does at least consider his legacy. I won't say he's completely moved by it. It's the only thing that matters. Like some people accuse other people of stat padding because all they care about is legacy. I'm just putting it out there. It's been said. It has been said.
Why do everybody want to attack LeBron so much?
I ain't say nobody's name.
I said I don't like the way you looked at me. I don't like the way you looked right at me when you said that. I don't understand that.
I'm just saying, it has been stated.
By the way, real quick, shout out to make sure we didn't go. Joe Thuney, he won the Lineman of the Year. It was the first time they've ever given that award out. So we're the inaugural first.
All right. One time for the trenches on them boys,
one time
Mike.
for the trenches on them boys. 2 claps to the Ric Flair. Oh, there we go. But hey, yeah. I don't take the spot because I feel like you had to have some sort of stance. Like if he got slighted, you don't come in there. Like it would be like if Belichick didn't get the Hall of Fame this year, and then like one of the other people like couldn't make the award, and then they put him in. they told him he could come. Hey, one of the dudes that was supposed to make it, he had a prior engagement, so we go slide you in.
Accept the award on his behalf. Take the pictures.
You come in,
hey man, Kawhi Leonard. If I'm talking to Kawhi, yo, take that, man. If that replacement spot becomes available, add I think it'd be his 10th All-Star game.
That's too good for that.
And look, there's a whole chunk of years where he doesn't qualify. I think that is the Kawhi rule, that you have to have played a certain number of games.
He might not do that again. Is that what you're trying to say? This might be his last time.
They created a whole rule for Kawhi in his All-Star appearances. You gotta have a certain number of games played before you even qualify for superlatives and the All-Star game, or definitely superlatives. He's played him. Played 37 games, man. Go take that spot. Yeah, for sure. Don't be too proud that you silly.
He needs the rest.
And the reason I say that. The reason I say that is because look at the NFL Hall of Fame in 26. What we do is, again, when time passes and decisions are being made, what we do is we look at these same data points like Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame, Super Bowl appearances, Super Bowl win. We use those data points to decide who is the creme de la creme. I said on this platform that it is criminal that Bill Belichick did not wear the honor of a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's criminal.
Criminal. I agree. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't here to say it last week. Criminal.
It's criminal. And Bob Kraft did not make it into these Hall of Fames.
Yeah. I'm not feeling
this year.
Nobody worry about that.
Tom Brady is eligible next year. I imagine all 3 go in at the same time. That way, no one really wears the asterisks of Deflategate and Spygate.
Ooh,
all 3 of them will probably go in. And if the fix is in, you made the analogy with Alabama this year in the college football playoff. You got to watch the fix. Bill Belichick doesn't even make it to the list of finalists, and Bob Kraft does.
But you just hold on a second now. You might have just switched me up a little bit. You think there's something a little poetic about putting them in at the same time?
All 3 going in at the same time next year.
They said, wait, they should. You know what? Because he's the GOAT, they should have put Brady in early. That would have been GOAT shit right there.
That's the equivalent of you saying that LeBron has a secure spot every year.
That would have been GOAT shit right there. Tell the truth. That would have been GOAT shit. You're supposed to be the GOAT, and they let you go 1 year early. Y'all missed an opportunity, NFL.
We rounded down. For Tom.
He just reclassified. He could have just reclassified, just like everybody else. He reclassified up. NFL, you missed next year. I see where you're going with that. That's cool to have them all 3 at the same time. But you missed an opportunity to let him go a little early. Who would have argued?
You let him cut the line. Hey, Bill,
who would have argued?
You're not a finalist. What we're going to do is we're going to change the rules for this 1 year.
Kawhi Leonard would have been like, damn, look at y'all. Look at that. That's man.
Those who did make it in, man. Shout out to Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald for being first ballot Hall of Famers. Great career with both. We had Drew Brees beat, man, out there in West Lafayette. And Bob Davey, I don't know what we did with time management. I digress. I don't want to be on
Drew Brees.
Say again?
I thought we beat Drew Brees every time. And Drew
Brees beat me my last year there, man.
Was that when you I'm not gonna disrespect you.
A week after. So I needed that dub. Had a touchdown and everything. I needed that dub. I did not start that game because I was still getting penalized for my excessive celebration penalty in the week before. I didn't start. They had me coming off that pine. I did get in early in the first quarter.
That's that Kawhi shit.
The Kawhi Leonard.
That's why you're so sensitive.
I am a technicality. I didn't get that start my senior year.
Who started above you, LeBron? Who was starting?
They might have went too tight
Are
personally.
y'all the same age, you and LeBron?
No, I'm older than LeBron. I wish I was
LeBron been in the league for a long time.
been in the league a long time, champ. I am the same age as Tom Brady. There's this whole cloud of dust at that age group, but I digress. Drew Brees, we had you beat, man, and then time management got the best of us. And Larry Fitzgerald, how can you question him being a first ballot Hall of Famer? So both of them, I think, rightly wear the distinctive crown, because there's the Hall of Fame and then there's an exclusive room. There's a VIP room that is first ballot Hall of Famers. Both of them deserve to be in that room. And I would argue that Bill Belichick deserved it, but he is not going to be in that room. The other 2026 Hall of Fame class inductees, Luke Kuechly, who was a 7-time All-Pro.
Monster.
2013 Defensive Player of the Year. You have Adam Vinatieri, the kicker.
That's it?
What's that? He was only. I mean, his career was cut so short because
he was good. Yeah. Every year he was good.
Yeah.
It was good, man. Yeah. Luke Kuechly real good at football.
But it's hard too to get Defensive Player of the Year at linebacker, right? Because when you do your job, it's like
it's a lot of 3-yard games.
Unless they're
you don't get the tackles for losses, you don't get the interceptions. Yeah,
he's just doing your job. And the stats that get you Defensive Player of the Year, like sacks.
Yeah, it's fair.
Adam Vinatieri, the kicker, NFL's all-time leading scorer and the most points in the postseason. And then you have the senior nominee, who was Roger Craig, first player to exceed 1,000 yards receiving and rushing in the same season. NFL Hall of Fame.
Question I have for you. So Roger Craig just made the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep.
He was one of my favorite players when I was a child. I'm too old to play football anymore. At some point, isn't it weird? Like, you were the Hall of Famer for this, got to be his 20th time he could have got it. Not fair.
Yeah, I think it's the smart way to do it because of recency bias. And I would say even more so now because of just bias, not even recency bias. There are factors that people are using to make those decisions that have nothing to do with football. And so I think you got to have that ability for us to overcome that. And so shout out to Roger Craig. I get where you go.
Do you know what year he retired?
Roger Craig?
Don't look it up. What do you think?
I would say Roger Craig probably retired in 91.
You looked it up. You son of a bitch.
How did I look at my hands are here. How did I look it up?
Now. You could have at least been off by 1 year so it didn't seem so slick.
Did I get it? I got it right. I did for real.
You looked it up. I ain't giving that to you. I'm not giving it to you. If you just said 92, I'd have gave you credit. Yeah. If you said 91, there's no damn way you got that shit perfect. But at some point, you're not a Hall of Famer. That's my point. 91.
The first ever.
I graduated high school in 91, right? It's people I played with in colleges in the Hall of Fame. He's done before they. Come on, man. At some point, and I love that was one of my favorite players, man, coming up. But at some point, you're just not a Hall of Famer, though. You can't just keep going on the ballot, keep going on the ballot, keep going on the ballot, keep going on the ballot. That's who Kawhi should be mad at. Roger Craig. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I don't know. I see where Dion was talking. He's like, at some point, we tripping, man.
Yo, man, it's just so many. It's only so many spots. That's why when we had the legacy conversation, the Mount Rushmore of anything, right? The tough part about Mount Rushmore conversations is only 4 spots. When it comes to this Hall of Fame, it's only so many spots. I like Mark's comment about Torrey Hope. And who's T Sizzle?
Oh, no.
Oh, he's talking about the linebacker. T Sizzle from Baltimore. That's what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, you're not talking about that ugly ass defensive end.
Yes, the linebacker. Very. They don't call him
just off looks.
They call him the Predator.
What?
They call him the Predator. He's not ugly.
He's a defense. What is his name? He played for Arizona State.
I can't think of that.
Suggs. Yeah, T. Suggs. Suggs supposed to have been in anyway. He was born in the Hall of Fame. You know what they talk about NFL or bust? He got an NFL or bust face.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Come on,
am I doing too
man.
much? Am
Come
I doing
on,
too
man.
much?
Do too
I thought this
much,
was
man.
entertainment too. What
It
you
is
want to do?
entertainment. It's
And
absolutely
looks,
entertainment. But I
he
don't
got a
want to be
face
so
for the Hall of
entertained. That
Fame.
man sees us on the street. He wants to throw hands. He's a large
That's
human.
not me. He'll be like, "Are you Big Flo?" Nope. I can't find anybody who wouldn't look worse if I beat him up.
I
You know what I'm
love
saying?
the comedian. What's my man's name? I'm drawing a blank. He does all that. He's more like on the wavelength of Chris Rock. Real intellectual guy. I can't think of his name. That's going to
Me. That sounds like me.
you too. Younger comedian. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy.
Ryan Harris.
He apologized. Say it again.
Ryan Harris. Oh no, Ryan
Ryan
Clark?
Davis.
No, Ryan Davis. Yeah,
Ryan Davis. Who is Ryan Davis?
yeah.
Was
I
how he
messed with him.
started. But Ryan Davis apologized to Cam Newton because he said he was on the same
That was
plane,
the funniest
same
shit. If you haven't
flight.
seen it, look it up.
Yeah, he said he was on the same flight to the Super Bowl. He realized just how large of a human he was. He said, I've never apologized to anybody for my jokes. He's like, I can't whoop him. So I'm just going to apologize. I thought
He
it was
said,
hilarious.
I'm not saying it because I was wrong in what I said, but I'm saying it because that dude would beat me up. He said, I got mad at those 3 people that jumped him, and now I see that is a reason why 3 people jumped him and they all got whooped. He's like, that dude's so big.
But that's how we would be with T Sizzle, man. No smoke wanted whatsoever.
No.
But I take Mark's point, but it also makes the point. There's a limited number. There's scarcity. There's only so many spots that you can have, and so having the senior nominee,
it was your turn. Out of
it was your turn. It was your turn, right? You were a casualty of the scarcity of the spots.
21 years.
21 years.
You're just not a Hall of Famer, man. That's just me. I don't know. At some point,
move on. Right? Move on. At some point, move on. You're not a Hall of Famer.
Just wasn't you, man. Yeah. Although my high school still hasn't put me in the Hall of Fame, I'm still available just in case.
Hey,
I don't want y'all to use this tape as a way to keep. I'm still available, and
what you had said was,
I still act honored if you want to put me in there.
What you had said was,
Chris Levatino, you're the athletic director. You can still make this happen, man. I'll take Hall of Fame honors at this point.
And you deserve to be. Get that right. Whoever it is, whoever's on the committee, get this right. Get
Never
Big Flo
put me in. They don't care.
We got to go Super Bowl 60 because there is a Super Bowl looming. There's a Super Bowl looming.
Okay.
And that Super Bowl, I don't know what's going on with my thing here. That Super Bowl is going by Super Bowl 60. What's the Roman numerals? We got the X, you got LV. XV.
LV, baby.
The LV. All right. Louis Vuitton Super Bowl.
Ooh, Louis Vuitton got to put big ads on that one.
Yeah, man.
They don't care. And yeah, all that Louis that's around the NFL locker rooms, yeah, they got to go ahead and do something.
Do you think this is going to deliver the Super Bowl?
No.
No?
This is the least excited I've ever been for Super. I'm trying to find sub stories to make it sweet for me. And I can't. Like now this is my last story I tried to sell to one of our friends last night and he wasn't buying it. I'm trying to sell myself on the Donald redemption because he was called a bust and now he's coming back. And I think I messed it up. That's his name. What's the quarterback's name?
You call him Donald.
What's his last
name? Sam Darnold. Darnold.
He was 3rd pick in the draft.
3rd pick.
And everybody said he was a bust, and now he's winning. So I'm on that. Now I want them to win for him. And I didn't get his name.
Win one for Sam Darnold.
I'm trying. Then I'd like to see Julian Love win one. Notre Dame guy. He's playing really well still after a couple years in the league.
There's a good bet out there on whether or not he's going to get a pick. Yeah, a great bet on there. So you want Sam Darnold to ball out.
And I have a dream. I have this dream.
It's the right time to say this, baby's Black History Month. The
King. And you wanted to keep the King out of the All-Star game.
What's your dream?
Kawhi Leonard here's my dream, man. My dream is as close as the end of the game. And Marshawn Lynch comes out the locker room, runs a touchdown.
And they give him the touchdown.
They win the game. That would make this the best Super Bowl ever. I don't even have plans for the Super Bowl. That's how much I'm not really tripping, man.
Yeah, it's really uneventful. Really uneventful. And it's crazy because we make so much every year about the Super Bowl. But these two teams, neither one having made the playoffs last year. Neither one made the playoffs last year. It does seem really uneventful. But that doesn't change the economics of it. And that doesn't change the storylines. Tom Brady, that Tom Brady, who is almost certain to be inducted in next year's Hall of Fame. That Tom Brady played for both the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but known for his years with the Patriots. I swear that was the lion's share of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady, when asked who he thought was going to win the game, Tom Brady, who was Mike Vrabel's teammate, Mike Vrabel being the coach of the year and head coach of these New England Patriots, Tom Brady said, and I quote, "I don't have a horse." What do you say? "I don't have a dog in this fight." Vince Wilfork, Asante Samuels, and others have taken real issue with Tom Brady, Mr. New England Patriot himself, playing politics and saying, "I don't have a dog in this fight." I know he's a media figure now, but he's not calling the game. Do you think Tom Brady?
Isn't he calling the game?
He's not calling the game. He's not calling the game. I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he is already.
He's doing some analyst stuff.
He's doing some analyst stuff, but he is not calling the game. All right, and you have to remain objective if you're calling the game. For those who don't know, Kirk Herbstreit is notorious for not having a pick when they do game day when he's calling the actual game. So I offer that to say that's not one of the excuses that he could use to say, I don't have a dog in this fight. Do you think Tom Brady is cold as ice? Ice cold, cold-hearted to say with a straight face, "I don't have a dog in this fight"?
The problem with what he said, I think the worst is, like, okay, even if you have a problem with Kraft or the organization, is what you just spit in your fans' face. All those people who've endeared you all this time and put you on such a pedestal, you spit in their face to say that. So, and it was so unnecessary. I don't have a dog in the fight, but if you at the end of the show, you're going to ask me who's going to win, and I'm going to tell you. I don't have a dog. I don't even care that much about the game, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just find something to pick. So to go out of your way to make that kind of a statement, I don't think he took into account the fans, and that's the part where it's bad. I mean, his teammates are pissed off too, whatever, but you really shit on your fans when you say that. Like, the best. I mean, Boston sucks. We both know Boston sucks. Nobody likes Boston, right? Can we agree on that?
That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
That's a fact. Boston sucks. We can agree that Boston,
as a place, as a culture, Boston is
everybody hates everybody. They're all racist, and so maybe he's dating a black girl. Maybe that's what it is. You think that's what it is? But
maybe.
Yeah. So I think he doesn't want to be wrong and say Seattle's going to win. But you know what? Well, I've seen people do picks before he gets it, but you don't have to say, answer the question honestly and just say, hey, listen, man, those are my Patriots, but man, Seattle's going to be tough to beat. It's going to be tough.
He also went further and said he suggested the Seahawks would beat the Patriots 6 out of 10 times they played. That's basically saying that he feels as though they are better. I ain't no mathematician.
That's a real weird way to put it, though. You ever think 60-40 is not that bad? Like, 9 out of 10 is saying that they'll beat you, but I think we'll beat you 6 out of 10. That's not even.
That means I won 4.
That's a pretty good series.
That means I won 4.
Yeah,
I'm good. Right.
That's a weird thing to say, isn't it?
It
6
is.
out of 10.
It is a weird thing to say.
That's not like a landslide. That means it should be a good Super Bowl.
No.
This
that
could
means
be one of those
they
4.
are somewhat equally matched, but the tie goes to, in this case,
the
Seahawks.
They're a little
and
better.
As a Patriots, he is the Patriots. Mount Rushmore, we can figure out who else is on the Mount Rushmore for the Patriots. Or you might even put Tom Brady's head up there twice. He is that ingrained in what success is connected to the New England Patriots. And for him to say it,
that's dirty.
Yeah. I love that his teammates took issue with him, and especially Asante Samuel from the crib. From where? From the crib. I was like, he knows what it is, man. I've been the same way. Tom Brady, look, that's cold as ice, brother. You're supposed to at least stand behind your mans in them, just as a franchise, let alone your former teammate is now the head coach. I got to ride with my dog. Yeah. I'm picking the Patriots all day, every day if I'm in the same situation as Tom. So It's interesting, man. He's become a real media figure, and the political approach to that seemed too political. We'll see who wins the game. Your prediction: Vegas has the Seahawks as 4.5-point favorite, and Tom Brady has them at least 6 out of 10 favorite. Your prediction: who do you have winning Super Bowl LV?
As Coach Ho saying, I think it's going to be Seattle, and that sucker doesn't need to be close. I think last week we got a bad look at Seattle, because I thought Seattle was going to beat the hell out of the Rams. Matter of fact, the Rams-Seattle game was good enough that I felt now I was mad the Bears lost. Like I was kind of like, yeah, the Bears
really
lost
because the Bears had a chance.
Yeah, because I Seattle would have beat the shot of them anyway. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, ooh. But I think that was just looking past them. I think they're gonna beat the hell out of the Patriots. That's just my thought. I'm gonna say 12-point win.
12
But my squares tell me I need to end 7-2. I don't care what the score is, 7-2, because I got some squares out there and I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, is that legal?
Yeah, it's completely illegal, but everybody does it.
For charity.
By the time they catch you, they gotta go through all of them.
They gotta go through everybody.
Every diner, every restaurant, every school.
Well, hey, and Bobby got weed. What you say?
They called us.
They called us. Bobby got weed. Look under his shoebox. He got weed.
By the time they get you, man, you be
He'll be fine.
Yeah, the money be spent by the time they come around.
I got sorry numbers though. 7-2.
7-2 is not a great mix, but crazier things have happened.
Whoever you ever do the squares, and whoever sells you the squares when you get the numbers, first of all, we're mad like they assigned them to you on purpose, and they always justify your numbers. The person who gave it to you, like, nah, 7-2. This lady I bought the squares from sending me previous Super Bowl scores that was in the 7-2. Why are you selling me? You didn't just say, yeah, your shit sucks. Who cares? I already gave her the money.
Yeah. It sounds like my man Chufu Jordan, a live audience says you got the same numbers as LeBron's.
That's what we doing.
Yeah.
Chufu's a hater, man. I just found him out. Yeah. I never do that.
No, I think he's saying LeBron. I'm assuming LeBron plays some numbers as well. Let's go with this, man, because while I didn't give my prediction. I predicted the Seahawks win. I predicted they do not cover, though. I think it's going to be a closer game than we expect. 4.5, they will not cover. It's going to come down to something at the end of the game, and the Seahawks win the game.
Oh, like come from behind win, or play the New Orleans.
I'm not going to do all that with Sam Darnold. He's more of a game manager, not to get down that dark path of game manager versus game breaker. But Sam Darnold, I think, is probably the best game manager right now. In the NFL this year, he did a phenomenal job this year. You say what you want about Sam Darnold. He did a phenomenal job. Now,
Minnesota wish they still kept that.
Absolutely. Now, Sam Darnold was also caught on camera his rookie year saying, "I'm seeing ghosts." That's like a tragic piece of material that can always be used. Say again?
Was that concussion protocol? Is it?
No. He was just he was not being very patient in the pocket. He was being rattled, and the sideline camera caught him saying, "I'm seeing ghosts." He was being honest. He was being honest, but
I think he was in the protocol, man. That sounds like
honest, but damn,
concussion conversation.
Normally, the commentator says it about you. You're not normally caught saying it about yourself. And so it has been played and replayed and overplayed over and over again. So you have no choice. Well, I have no choice but to root for him. But I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it's going to take a come from behind win with Sam.
Well, you said something at the end. I wasn't sure if you're going to.
Yeah, something towards the end of the game, a late kick, something that makes it less than 4.5. That's what I'm going with.
Gotcha.
But I did want to bring this up because Mark does say he's the first quarterback from 2018 class to make the Super Bowl, which is crazy. That's the bet that we should have took.
That's the class, because you know who else.
Yeah, he was in there with Baker Mayfield. He was in there with Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen. Josh Rosen's the only one who flamed out.
I was about to say, I know you're reading. I know you're a liar, and I know you lied on the
No,
chat.
I did it.
No fucking way. You remember Josh Rosen? You're a liar,
only because
Bobby.
I talked about it last week.
Okay.
Only because I talked about it.
Okay, because I was going to say, I Googled it last night, and I said to somebody, when's the last time you said the words Josh Rosen? And you almost got yourself caught for lying. You would tell me to look that up.
I did it last week.
You looked it up last week. You hadn't thought about Josh. Josh Rosen coaches a high school in Methuselah, Maryland.
I talked about Josh Rosen last week. That's the only reason I remember. He was in that draft. There's 5 of them.
I wasn't here. I wasn't here.
But who would have thought that Sam Darnold, after his rookie year, would be the first one to make it to the Super Bowl from that class? And Sam Darnold has done it. So shout out to Sam Darnold. Appreciate that, Mark. And I think he wins it. So we shall see. The other part of the Super Bowl that I had to bring up, and this is where I got to go into what we going to call a new segment, but I got to set it up first. Fanatics, who is the official partner for jerseys with the NFL, official partner for NFL jerseys, Fanatics, they didn't believe that this whole phenomenon was possible. And because of that, there is a shortage of New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks jerseys. So much so
it's the tariff.
It's
the tariffs, I'm telling you.
The tariffs?
Yeah, they couldn't risk it. Sports, business, entertainment, man. We got to talk about everything.
They couldn't. But so much so that there's been a 400% increase in jersey demand. And because both teams did not make the playoffs last year, Fanatics, they dropped the ball when it came to these jerseys. Now, there's also complaints about the qualities of the jersey. There's also complaints about the price of the jersey. And here's why this is a teaching moment. Because the Ball Hog Sports Talk is where the managerial decisions of big finance meet the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment. There's a managerial decision amongst Fanatics to come up with what the supply would be. And when it comes to the supply curve in this teaching moment, you got to understand what managers are using to determine supply. Supply curve considers the relationship between the price and available supply of an item from the producer's perspective rather than the consumer's. So from the producer's perspective, when you're deciding at the beginning of the year or even midway through the year what your inventory should look like for New England Patriots jerseys and Seattle Seahawks jerseys, ain't nobody in their right mind thinking that these two teams are going to do the unthinkable and make it to the Super Bowl after last year not even making it to the playoffs. Supply from a producer's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Demand. The demand curve is a little different. Demand is from the consumer's perspective. And from the consumer's perspective, consumer demand for any good, in this case, we're talking about these jerseys, is going to be a relationship between the price of a good and the demand that consumer has. The consumer, right, when you look at the price, it normally dictates the demand. When they have an intersection where that supply and demand curve meets, it's like the perfect equilibrium. That's where Fanatics is trying to get to now. That's market balance. And so they have to increase the supply significantly to meet this newfound demand because New England Patriots fans, they had to come out the woodworks after years of being in hibernation. And they back, baby. Same thing with Seattle Seahawks fans. They back, baby. They want jerseys to show it. They want the new jerseys. with these current roster players. And so who is doing the most to take advantage of it? Fanatics. The price has gone up significantly. They're trying to produce more jerseys. And that's our teaching moment, because the Ball Hawk Sports Talk is where the managerial decisions of big finance meet the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment. That lesson is one that we all got to remember, right? That lesson. And we talk about scarcity when it comes to the spots in the All-Star game. Scarcity when it comes to the spots in Hall of Fames. Supply and demand could be an ice cold game. And so it fit perfectly on this episode, the Cold as Ice episode of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. Let's move forward past the Super Bowl, man. That was a teaching moment segment. Let's get to what we really need to talk about. And you start off by talking about Suggs and his aesthetic unpleasantness.
I like him and Shrek favored slightly.
There's another ice cold response this week, man, because the Miami Heat, my team. Let's go Heat. We had a White House, baby. We ice cold in the white in 2006, led by Wade County. I was finishing up law school, and I remember that year, man. I remember all the dudes that came to my apartment and talked trash. They didn't think we was going to win it. They thought that Zoe was past his prime. Shaq was not the Shaq of old from the LA Lakers, and they didn't think we could win it, and we won it. We hoisted the trophy.
Zoe and Shaq.
Antoine Walker was quite the contributor. But in this episode of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, going by the title as Cold as Ice, it was an ice cold response to the Miami Heat reunion, because Antoine Walker showed up every bit. He's got to be knocking on 400 pounds door, man. It was all right in the midsection. And the online response has been, man, it's been brutal. Antoine Walker is also notorious for having lost a lot of his money. And, man, his health looks bad. But, wow, it's just amazing how brutal people can be, bro. It's a brutal population out there, man. But Antoine Walker, to the point, I didn't even know it was him.
I didn't either, because they showed him signing some Celtic stuff, and I thought it was Big Baby at first, and then I was like, Big Baby got fat. Oh shit, who is that?
Like, Big Baby was already fat, so if you saying Big Baby got fat, it's a fatter version of Big.
And I looked and I was like, man, when I finally realized who it was, he looked depressed too.
Yeah, he did.
He looked embarrassed to be there, but he needed the money.
And they gave him a jacket that seemed too small. Like he gave him, they used old sizes or something too, man. Because it was highlighting that midsection.
Heat football team and see if we can't get him.
Yeah, it was bad. Wishing him nothing but great health, man. I'm making fun of it, but health is a real thing. But you see just how brutal fans can be. It was cold as ice to see how they responded to that man. I imagine he's got to either just ignore social media altogether. If he does post anything, he's got to turn off the comments. It's just, we are in a brutal world, bro.
He's always at Waffle House. He can't ignore. He can't have
Don't
time.
add on, man. Don't add on, man.
Look, I'm fat, so I fat shame everybody.
No, man, he's a different level right now. You know,
it's cool. But you be calling me fat when nobody's around. I know how it is. It's levels to this shit.
Yeah, he's exceeded your level and then some. He's at least 20 levels above any fat that you can claim.
And I'll take that as a compliment. I appreciate you for saying that. That really means a lot to me. Thank you. Because one of the things I do with my family when we walk around and we see, for those of y'all don't know me, I'm a jerk. I play nice on this thing, but deep down I'm a jerk. And if I see somebody who's real sexy, you know what I'm saying? Like real sexy, I always tap my family and be like, am I that fat? And they'll be like, no, Dad, no, you're not that fat. And I feel better about myself for the day. That's a terrible thing to say. But it's the truth. I do it all the time.
It's cold as ice, brother. That is cold as ice.
And when they say no, I feel better.
That is cold as ice, my man. Yeah. But
Fat Chronicles. Big activity.
Hang in there, Antoine Walker. And for those who love him, family, friends, man.
It's a shot now out there. Hey, man, it's a shot. I know you're a little NBA, I know we suffering out here with healthcare. They got a shot out there for you. Get that old Ozempic, man, to get you right. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. And for those who do spend a lot of time, it's a touchy subject. I've got a teammate that I really want to say something to for health
I never
reasons,
played
but
with you.
say again.
No, I was just letting the word long. I never played with you.
No, it was not you. It was
No,
not you.
I was just putting it out there. It couldn't be me.
I mean, but you are my teammate on the show, so technically.
Well, you could. You said had. That's past tense. I'm currently.
But this particular teammate is sensitive. How do you have that conversation with somebody? Hey, dog, you too fat.
The worst thing is they know. That's the thing. So what are you going to tell a fat person about being fat? They know they're fat. You know what?
Yeah, they get to deal with it every day.
Tell another person who's fat to tell them that they're fat because you're too skinny to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta pick an old
moderately
teammate.
Fat. You got to get a moderately fat to go
and say, "Hey, man, you're too fat.
You're fat." Chime in, fat people. Whoever's on the show that's fat. Like right now, I know I can see in the comments. I know a couple of y'all that's fat. So
don't make me call you out.
Don't make me tell you to raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
But
volunteer.
Isn't it easier to hear you're too fat from somebody who's at least fighting the same fight? If a skinny person tells you you're fat, you want to slap the shit out of them. Because now it's genetics. Like you're not fat because you're not fat because you're disciplined and you do all this hard stuff. You have show your desk. It's a bottle. It's probably a little scotch over there, a little beer or something. Like you got big activities in your stuff, but it just doesn't do that to you.
Wings and all that. Yeah, some of it is genetics. But here's
that's why you can't. A skinny person can't tell a fat person they're fat.
But I didn't want to come to said person and say, "Bro, you're fat." What my perspective is this: is that from a health standpoint, especially when it's centrally located, that is the most dangerous.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When it's all gut, when it's all gut. That's the most dangerous fat that you can have in terms of your heart. So I want to come from a health perspective.
Walk me through the conversation. Let's assume for a minute that I'm fat because I know I'm sexy.
Yeah.
Walk me through how you think you're going to do it, and we're going to get back to the sports, but I'm going to coach you on where you went wrong because I know you're going to.
Because I love you, because I love your family, I love what you're doing with your family, I want to speak to you about your health. And I think that there's some long-term health issues that we need to discuss that I think you can solve.
Man, I know I'm fat, dog. What you just gotta say, man? Just come out and say it, man. What you trying to say, dog? Huh? What you trying to say?
It's gonna go left that quick? I'm talking health. Quick.
You don't walk to snuck in there and you know you trying to walk. I'm just saying it don't work. But from a fat dude, say, look here, dog. Hey, look, man. I've been struggling too, man. But you look like you might have had it. But from fat to fat, you know what I'm saying? It works. I'm just telling you. Chime in. I see all these people scared to comment, but
hey man, I'm not. I take a very I take your advice, and I'm gonna take your cue and not say what I want to say.
Send me his number.
But I am concerned, right? It's like, yo, I'm not doing that.
Do I know him? That's just a question.
You might know. I don't know. I can't even say that.
I'll talk to him for you. We'll go.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm genuinely concerned, but from a health perspective. And when I look at Antoine Walker, I hope that those same teammates that celebrated the 20-year anniversary, I hope that at some point behind closed doors, while on the social media sites, people in the comments are having fun. While on all of the podcasts, this one included, people are going to have fun with just how round he has become. There is a health concern in there.
For sure.
That I hope that people that love him, because his teammates, at the end of the fat jokes, like literally none of us want to go to another funeral. We're doing it way too often. And so I hope that someone's able to communicate in a positive way. And if it has to come from a source that is also a more round source, then let's go with it. Mm-hmm. But I hope the message gets through because that was scary. Antoine Walker was a big part of that championship. He's probably the one that is most overlooked when it comes to that championship. He was a spark plug for that championship. And, I hope he can be a champion when it comes to his health. Let's get into this before we get out of here. We got to get in this NBA trade deadline because that's cold too. James Harden was in the training room in LA with the Clippers, and Tyronn Lue said he walked up to him and told jokes and was like, "Oh, man, you're weird," because that's his favorite word. But there's this really balanced exchange, and everyone knew in the facility that James Harden was very likely to be traded. And because he's a veteran, because if anything James Harden knows how to do, it's how to be traded. He handled it professionally. But there's an awkwardness to that is maybe unstated. And the NBA trade deadline can be cold-blooded. I guess I want to go with I don't know which order to go in. I'll go with Anthony Davis first. Because I mean, Nico Harrison at this point, he literally gave away Luka for nothing. And Anthony Davis is also now well versed at being traded. But to be traded to the Wizards for almost nothing,
A bag of chips and two loose cigarettes is what they got for him.
Two Lucy's.
Two Lucy's. That officially makes they need to hire your boy back and fire him again because they didn't fire him.
Nico, we was joking. We need you back. And as soon as they figured the onboarding, as soon as they finalized it, hey, somebody want to see you. You're fired again.
Again, we didn't fire you loud enough.
Yeah.
We didn't tell you to get out the building. But like to be 1 year later and to have Luka be at the Lakers
as an all-star.
As an all-star.
He did get injured yesterday. I didn't know like anything major, but I think Luka did get hurt.
And AD's gone already. So who do you have? Who do you have?
I don't know.
I mean, they got Cooper Flag.
Who played well. They lost to San Antonio, but I think he had 32 and Wemby had 29. It was cool to see the next generation of stars in the NBA go at it. Cooper Flag balled out, but
how was that not working between Cooper Flag with AD?
That's a draft pick. I wouldn't even give Nico that. That came down to the lottery. That was luck that Dallas got that first pick.
I'm trying to give him something to work with. That's just bad at your job, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nico is the lifeguard that can't swim. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing, man. I don't know what's going on with him, man.
But quick to jump in anyway. Like, bro.
You're not qualified for this job, man. I don't know what to do, man. I try to find
lifeguard.
I'm trying to figure it out, man. I don't know how it works. Really how did this happen, man?
Really bad at his job. Golden State finally got rid of Jonathan Kuminga, and they also parted ways with Buddy Hield. And so Porzingis is going to Golden State. Might be exactly what they needed.
It might be something. Porzingis is pretty good at basketball.
Porzingis is damn good.
Pretty good basketball player.
And Kuminga and Steve Kerr just were never going to see eye to eye. So I'm glad to see that very toxic marriage is ended. We'll see if that does what it needs to do for the crew that is the legacy crew of Golden State. That might be just what they needed to give them one more shot, one more again to get themselves a championship. James Harden is going to Cleveland. Cleveland, this is for you. He claims that he wasn't the one who demanded this trade. And it's like crying wolf. It's been reported. He said that he didn't, I think the exact words was, he didn't formally ask for a trade. Now, maybe I kept leaving notes around.
They put it in writing.
I kept leaving Post-its in my locker, get me out of here, sending anonymous emails with my name on the end. Sincerely, me, James Harden, but from anonymous email accounts. But James Harden, it's all said and done.
Let's go, man. There's maybe some strip clubs in Cleveland he hasn't frequented lately or something. I don't know.
And I think that Kawhi Leonard, because he's so innocent, Kawhi is that innocent friend you can tell anything, just fell for the okie doke. I think he really thought that him and James Harden was going to ride off to the sunset together and had one last shot. And Kawhi was just like, yeah, they all gone now. And a team that was surging. We have to acknowledge in this
you
episode.
Want him to be mad at the king. That's the thing about you. You want him to be mad at the king.
No, I just think we have to acknowledge.
James Harden is in Cleveland. That's
This
kind of poetic.
generation is just ice cold, man. Hell with you, Kawhi. Hell with the fact that we've turned this around and it's moving in the right direction, Clippers. Hell with all of that. I'm ready to go. I'm out. And when the front office seems cold as ice, and things like,
They should
ice
have
cold
traded him for
Trey,
AD. I
when
mean, since
Trey
they don't
Young
own nothing.
found out that he was being traded while on the sideline and had to be ushered out into the back and whisked away, we took shots at ownership. We took shots at the business structure, just how ice cold it was. I gotta also have that same energy with James Harden, bro. I don't know how people trust him. Why bring him in when you know it's gonna fail miserably? And it didn't fail miserably, but I say it didn't fail miserably because we're comparing it to other James Harden departures,
Yeah.
right? But the team is winning. Both Kawhi and James Harden arguably should have been all-stars, but they had that spot reserved for the Kane. You're playing well. Tyronn Lue seems to have figured it out. I thought they were going to use the trade deadline to improve their team. Lo and behold, James Harden said, not so fast, my friend. Just taste that soup. I'm out of here. And I just don't understand how people could even trust James Harden. I love the beard as a player. Phenomenal to watch. But as a competitor, as someone that is loyal to a mission, someone that is going to finish the race when it comes to whatever team objectives you had at the beginning of the year, he's as reliable as you put it, as a lifeguard that can't swim.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
want to be a purist, and James Harden in this generation, because they are so cold-hearted, they make it hard to be a purist and as a fan. So, bon voyage, James Harden, yet again. And then the trade that did not happen, the Greek Freak is staying in Milwaukee, and he celebrated it like he was 10 toes down the whole time, baby.
I lost so much respect for him for that post. If those of you guys who haven't seen it, he put a post. Is that what you got?
Yes. I'm not putting the post up.
So he had that famous post from Wolf of Wall Street where he's like, "Yeah, I ain't fucking leaving. I ain't leaving. This is mine, whatever." And then he put a caption on top that said, "Champions don't chase their," basically something may say like, "Real champions don't leave. They people come to them." You were the one who said you wanted to go. They didn't want to trade you. That's why you're still there, because they didn't want to trade you. So now you're saying that we don't run, that you come to it. It's only
I ain't like James Harden. I ain't like KD. I stay and finish my food.
You stay because they wanted you. They wanted you to stay. You wanted to go. They didn't say we want to trade you. No one says that. That's not what happens. Stop it. So that bothered me.
You weren't buying what he was selling, basically.
Don't do it like that. Don't make it seem like. Just say I'm okay. If you want to put, I ain't fucking leaving. I'm staying. Whatever. Cool. We've reached an agreement. I'm cool. I'm recharged. Okay, good. That's like when what's his name decided to stay, and now he's a sack leader. He said he was coming back.
Myles Garrett, baby.
Yeah, Myles Garrett. He came back, but he didn't act like he was never going to go. I'm staying. Let's all celebrate that. It's an announcement. Everybody's happy, but don't do that. Don't shoot it. Don't take shots.
They threw a few extra M's on that thing. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, all of the discussion leading up to the trade deadline was focused on the Greek Freak. I was hopeful that Miami somehow would pull it off. And as of yesterday, the Milwaukee made it very public that don't call them anymore. And as you have well stated, the Greek Freak made it very public that I'm staying. And then tried to make some sort of philosophical.
You had me till that
soapbox stance public as well. So Lonzo Ball got traded to Utah, and as expected, Utah cut him. But boy,
you think they make you fly over there to cut you, or do they call you and cut you?
Hopefully they'll make you fly. Utah,
come on.
But Cameron on it is what it is already took issue with him. It's like, man, I told y'all. The other guy that's on there, I can't think of the other character's name, sick, whatever it's called. Saying Well, maybe he can make beats for Jello now. Either make beats, be in the production lab, or make or beatbox. And man, it's a cold world, bro. It's a cold, cold world. I hope Lonzo resurfaces because I do think he's got some good basketball left in him. So we shall see. Ball Hawk spotlight moments, man. It's time to get out of here with some good stuff. Time for us. You know what it is, man. It's the end of the game. We got the ball at half court. No pressure, but all the pressure. And the spotlight, we're going to start with you, Big Flow Show. Spotlight on you. This is where you get to pick maybe a storyline that's not front and center. Maybe you get off the beaten path a little bit. We got to dig a little bit for the Ball Hawk spotlight moment. But the ball's in your hands. We need them. We need a play. What you got for us, Big Flow Show?
America, I'm confused. I don't know if this is a sign of the times. I just don't know if this is where we are, but this is a weird one to me. So the OTE league, which I found out, I learned a little bit this morning about. I always thought the OTE was kind of like a after high school, I don't want to go to college league, but it's like a instead of high school, I'm too good and I'm going to go do this. It's like an AAU all the time. I guess I would call it. Would you agree with that? Like full time. I don't know if they get paid or not or whatever, but the MVP was named Isaac Ellis was named MVP. He averaged 29 points. The next highest average was like 19 points. He's broken every scoring record there, and he went on to win the championship game. 45 points scored in the game. They won the championship afterwards, but he was named MVP of the league, and the rest of the guys in the crowd got up and walked out. I can't tell if this is some sort of funny, trying to be a prank type stuff or what the hell they were doing. But
or if it's really in protest. His big brother won it 2 years ago, and I don't think they had an MVP last year. And then one of the players asked about it and just kind of like, I don't know, man.
So I don't know if this is where show me the money meets everyone gets a trophy, but he got mad. They got mad. They walked out and they all left and it was tacky. And I didn't like how none of them were dressed. It just something about it just wasn't right. And I'm like, is this where we are? Is this where we are now? Were we protesting the league leader who seemed like he was the obvious champion? They won the championship. He was the MVP of the championship game. He was the one who scored all the points. He's broken all kind of scoring records. He wins it, and you all get up and get mad and walk out, and they won't comment on it. So I don't know if he maybe as like some deep down D'Angelo Russell type stuff where it was beyond it, because it's very hard to find an explanation. Anybody listening right now that has an explanation, if they know what I'm talking about, I can't find an explanation as to why, and everyone's being mums to it. So it's either some sort of a prank or he did something that nobody wants to talk about.
I think we all, anybody that's worn some of those Z-Cal Ricci pants, anybody that's been to a dance and, you know, they had the whole dance line and you sweating out your clothes, anybody in our age group, we're equally confused. This generation is interesting, man. They cold as ice, bro. When it comes to certain things like that, like they got up and walked out. I'm like, why take that man's moment? And I don't know. Maybe it was just a joke. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe he broke some social rules that we can't talk about.
Maybe. And you can't ask this generation because then you're trying to have a conversation with them. And
they're gonna start saying some 6'7",
Blizzy. What just happened? Yeah, they ain't trying to have conversations with you. The other Ball Hawk spotlight moment, I get the ball, I'm a half court, all lights on me, and we're going to go home with two things. First is the irony of things, right? I'm going to get to Bud Crawford. There's a very ironic thing that happened this week, and this was my second choice for Ball Hawk spotlight moment, but I'm just going to touch on it and we'll move on. Texas A&M has a player that is 25 years old. He redshirted, got hurt. Say again?
Freshman. Something about a freshman?
Yes. He redshirted, he got hurt, went to JUCO, went to court to preserve his eligibility. So he's 25 years old. All right. This man took issue with the player from Alabama that got his eligibility from a temporary restraining order situation and is 23 years old, but had played in the NBA. And to hear this 25-year-old complain about the 23-year-old having eligibility just baffled me. It's cold as ice, bro. Like, wait a minute. You're older than him, though. Interesting times when it comes to collegiate sports. But my ball hawk spotlight moment comes from Bud Crawford. On the heels of Shakur Stevenson winning his fight this week against Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez had a lot to say. He was inviting Shakur Stevenson to his man parts, to his private parts. He was doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Sometimes you have a way with words. I will say that he invited him to his man parts.
He did. That's what
Okay.
that's what you gotta
Was
say.
it in an envelope?
You can't say it the other way. You can't say it the other way.
You've been cordially invited.
Cordially invited him to his man part. Told him to, whatever they say.
There's a class
right?
watcher. Mm-hmm.
And also has been very, very peculiar about his stance on race. So we were all happy. I'm not going to say we. We being Big Flo Show and I. We were happy that Shakur Stevenson put the pause on Teofimo. And Shakur Stevenson's from Newark, right? Here I am. I'm right next to Newark. Shout out to Newark. After beating him, a unanimous decision at Madison Square Garden on February 1st, to begin Black History Month, so I was happy he put them hands on Teofimo, won the WBO junior welterweight title, moved up to 140 and won the title. These boxing federations are interesting. You've got to, I guess, the WBC wanted him to pay a sanctioning fee. On February 4th, they stripped him of his lightweight WBC title. Now, Shakur Stevenson said it's just because of his friendship with Bud Crawford. And we are talking about, because of Shakur Stevenson, these federations, in this case, WBC, Bud Crawford and Shakur Stevenson has said they're just crooks. They're just basically, taking money from us with no sound reasoning. I give you that background, and I show you Bud Crawford. Ice cold Bud Crawford, when talking about the WBC, why he retired, and being asked on the podcast to pivot, would he ever entertain coming back to boxing? Ice cold Bud Crawford said and did this. Let me get it right. Bear with me here. Here we go. Listen closely, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the grand finale. We, in sports, business, and entertainment, we are often faced with philosophical choices.
I always say everything got a price. Because people say, like, I love my dog. I get $100. No, I get $1,000. No, I get $100,000.
I don't know what happened to the speed.
Let's see what double happened. Speed was right under there.
Double speed. I don't know what I did there. All right,
hit play again. It was down below.
Did I did that? Did I do that?
I didn't do it.
So, let me try it again. I'm going to do it this way. See if it comes back normal. Stick with me.
Because people say, like, I love my dog. I get $100. No, I get $1,000. No, I get $100,000. Hey, you can have him. Like, my thought is everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
Nah, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you. Now we know your character. Sometimes, you look at people and you be like, dang, man, you ain't got no dignity. You ain't got no morals. Like, come on, man. Like, what you gonna stand for if everything is about money? Like, I never was in a sport because of money.
I always say everything got a price. Because people say, like,
what an amazing take. And one that is so rare in this day and age. Like, he literally shut down the whole moment with a stoic look, but a profound message. And I decided to make that the last thing that we do today. Not only because it's ice cold in terms of he had an ice cold grill when he said it. He didn't smile. Not because it was an ice cold stance in the sense that, all right, that's you. It was sharp and ice cold when it comes to, let me double down on it. Now we know your morals. But I think when we talk about on this show, the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, where the managerial decisions of big finance come in contact and collide with the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment, that entire ecosystem is rife with people that choose money over principle. And so I don't know if Bud Crawford never steps into a ring again. And I know that Shannon Crowding was just trying to be the personality that he is on that podcast and make light of it. But I hope people are really willing and able to embrace just how profound that moment was and the message. Because if you're willing to sell yourself, then we do know who you are. I'll give you a word on it, man, before we get out of here. But Ice Cold Bud Crawford dropped a gem. And probably the most unlikely setting, and in response to a guy that we know is just he's the clown on the pivot.
I will say this, as a guy who likes to make jokes and likes to make light of something, I almost feel bad for Channing because, like, you know, not everything is funny, right? I try to find humor in just about anything, but it's humbling and embarrassing because you see Shannon didn't say anything back to him, right? Like he just took it.
Yeah.
Even though he really insulted the shit out of him. But when you try to make a joke out of something where dude is telling you about his principles and he stands 10 toes down and he doubles down and says, well, that's you. That shows your character. It's not mine. You can't even be mad at him for saying it to you because you question whether or not he could. It was deep. It was deep. And I believe Bud's not going to get back in the ring. I really believe that. I don't even know what the whole hubbub is about, but $100 million and say you're not gonna go back in the ring, and he's like, you got to stand for something. You know, it is a little easier to stand for something when you're sitting there rich anyway. So I mean, Bud got a lot of money.
Yeah. And look, the WBC is basically asking Bud Crawford and now Shakur Stevenson rhetorically, like, you made all of that money, why can't we get our cut? And what both Bud Crawford and Shakur Stevenson saying, yeah, but I made all that money because I trained.
Yeah.
I made all that money because I went in there and won the fight, took the risk.
Yep.
I want all that money and I did something for it. You want me to pay you for nothing just because you can. And from a principle standpoint, I'm not paying you for nothing. And I understand where they're coming from. Whether or not they win this battle or not, we shall see. But for generations, boxers have been on the wrong end of leverage. And so Bud Crawford, I think by taking on the WBC, has at least inspired one other young fighter, his protege, Shakur Stevenson, to fight too. But Bud Crawford in this moment on that podcast with that response, I think did a world of justice for all of us to be able to reconcile the balance between your money and your principles. And it is easier when you got a lot of money.
Yeah,
but
you're really rich.
You know, the only thing better than a lot of money is even more on top of that. And Bud Crawford essentially will be walking away from becoming a billionaire if indeed he stays true to these principles.
You know, I look at Dave Chappelle, you know, when he walked away from that $50 million.
Yeah.
And he went and did whatever he'd do. And now he came back and he's more who he wanted to be. And he's making way more money now the second time around. Unfortunately, with boxing and any other sport, you don't your clock ticks, so you don't have the time to do that. But I don't know if he can bring about change and see what's going on. Boxing has made a lot of people filthy rich, but it is a very dirty sport. I saw an interview the other day where Mike Tyson, you know, they were talking about him and and Don King, who's like, I think he's like 100 now, and how he beat him for some money, and Mike Tyson will send somebody to his crib and came back with money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's like, they're trying to rob you and they're trying to get you and take advantage of you and make you seem like it's everything. And you know, a lot of these dudes, most boxers didn't go to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Most boxers came out and they're guys who came from rough beginnings. Otherwise, who wants to go get punched in your mouth? So they're right for taking advantage of you and trying to sit there and endure it. And so I like it to an extent, except for I want to see him fight again. So I hate to see that.
Same here. And we tell jokes all the time, like a certain number of money, I'll do anything for that. We've told that joke, so we know where Shannon Crowder was coming from. But
it's not a joke to me. It's pretty much I can do anything.
well,
and
as
you
Bud
know,
Crawford
and me and
said,
Bud Crawford, he would have less respect for me. That's fine too.
and he said as much. And I will say this because I think that moment captures what is the balancing act. And on this episode that has gone by the title of Cold as Ice, it's been the Cold as Ice episode. Ice was intentional. Yes, it's been a frigid last several weeks in America, in states that normally don't have this type of cold weather. They said there are iguanas down there in South Florida freezing, falling out the doggone trees because their
People
nervous
been eating them.
systems used to because of the cold.
Nah, and people have been eating them. They've been collecting them and eating them.
Yeah,
But they talk about the Haitians, but I digress.
Right.
But go ahead.
Yeah, but because of the cold, that it's abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been frigid. And yeah, we talked about cold as ice because there are some performers that, because of their performances, are wearing All-Star in front of their name, Hall of Fame behind their name. Cold as ice. But it was also because of ICE as an agency,
Mm-hmm.
what it's done to our country. We had the 2 tragic deaths, the latest being in Minnesota. And we made a conscious decision to give the stories time to breathe and not allow our emotions to guide our conversation. But what Bud Crawford did in that moment is he allowed us also to accept and own this platform as another way to be principled in how we handle things. Cold as ice, ICE the agency, but also the cold responses that seem to drive the debate in our countries, right? You're either on one side or the other. You're Blood or you're Crip. You're Tupac or you're Biggie. We got to be less cold when we're having the conversations, and the ideologies that we believe in don't necessarily separate us. We can disagree and also still be kindred spirits, still be brothers and sisters of one another, and still have conversations. Let's not be as cold as ice when it comes to those conversations. And that's all I have for today. Been a great show. The Big Flow Show has been in the building. I'm your boy, B Brown ESQ, aka the Ball Hog, aka the Mouth of the South, aka Mr. Excessive Celebration, aka Breezy, aka Professor Brown, aka Coach Bobby, aka someone that is thankful that we have so many people that continue to support us. And so, last but certainly not least, we say this: the Ball Hog Sports Talk is where the managerial decisions of big finance meet the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment. It's kind of like, from a pop culture standpoint, where show me the money meets just give me the damn ball. We ask you humbly, please like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anyone that you know, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the podcast on Spotify. It's been a great show. This has been the coldest ice episode of the Ball Hog Sports Talk. With that, you know what we do, man. We is out. Peace.